Alrighty, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have not been here in quite a while because I'm procrastinating. So today what we're actually going to be working on is just like a beginner's guide, and I'm going to use the Jaclyn Hill palette. Can you see that? It's dirty. It's really dirty and old. I got it right when it first launched, so it's an old palette. But we're actually going to be working on like a beginner's guide to how to like blend eyeshadow and just apply makeup in general, because I did have a request from my friend Jade. So we're gonna just go ahead and work on that today. I feel like I should do like a look with the browns, because the browns look like they're very like not touched at all in this palette. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. We're gonna create a look with that and follow along if you want to. It's a way to learn how to do just simple eyeshadow looks. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get on into it. So to prime your eyes, what you'll want to do is use some concealer. This is like nowhere near my skin tone. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's not anywhere near my skin tone. So you'll want to use some concealer or some eyeshadow primer just to start as a base. And I mean, if you weren't wanting to use a primer, I know there's like lots of alternatives out there, but my favorite, and I can't find it for some reason, is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eye Primer. I also like the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Concealer, and I do go through those pretty quickly because I use them a lot. But this is like the second Shape Tape that I've purchased, because the first one, it wasn't like the color wasn't doing what I needed to do, so I just gave it to my sister. But this one, I really like this color. This is the shade N35 Medium, and so I'm gonna go ahead and use this to prime my eyes. It might look a little bit light on camera, and with this concealer, a little bit goes a long way. So we're gonna do some, I don't know if we want to do like a warm or cool, probably we're just gonna do some neutral stuff. Let's just do some browns, play with some browns, because I don't ever do that on this channel, do I? Okay, so this could be done one of two ways. So you could either start with a darker, so a few years ago, I do know that makeup gurus were starting with a lighter color and working their way deeper. So you could do this either that way, or you are able to start with the darker color and go lighter. But if you are starting with a darker color and going lighter, that works better if you're trying to do like a really intense look, like for example with a blue or purple or a green, and you're just wanting it to show up. I do it that way. But if you're just trying to do like a light, fun, just like a neutral look, then you probably want to start light and go darker. And so for my crease color, I'm actually gonna go in with this third one over, this one right here, and kind of just go in my crease like that. And have a really light hand when you're blending things out. Sorry if my voice is cracking, I was talking at work all day. Make sure the edges don't have any harsh lines, because that's where it could start to look a little crazy. Now that that has been blended out, and it's very light, gonna take a little bit of a translucent powder, and the translucent powder that I'm using is the Kat Von D Lock It setting powder. So you're gonna take the translucent powder and put it at the edge of the color that you are using, and that's gonna help it just like blend out a little bit more, so that way it's not like a harsh line. And so now that we've gotten this kind of like smoked out a little bit, and since I have hooded eyes, I am actually just gonna go higher than what my natural crease is. And I know a lot of my friends do have hooded eyes, so this will probably help. I'm gonna take a darker brown, and so this one in the corner, like right above the black, just like stamp that in the corner. And kind of blend it out at the same time. So we're gonna go back into that first shade and kind of buff it out a little bit, just to make sure that everything is nice and blended. Now that it's blended, what we are going to do is take this darker brown, palette's upside down, but this darker brown, and we're going to just pat that in a little bit, but make sure you can see that second brown that we used in there. So this is just to deepen up the area. Just so you know, it literally works with any color scheme you want to do. So if you want to do this with blue or purple or green or pink or red or yellow or chartreuse, isn't that weird Shrek-like green color or neon green color or something? I don't know. Works with literally anything. So if you want to do that, but I mean, I feel like browns and neutrals would be like one of the easiest colors to work with. So that's why I picked that one. So next, I'm going to take So I'm going to take a shimmer now because I want to. Ready, so now I am actually going to take this shade right here with my finger and just put it on my eyelid, kind of pat it on. So I don't know how other people do this, but I like to put my eyeliner on before I start my face. So like right after I do my upper lid, actually wait until I do like the rest of my face and then I go back and do my lower lash line. But I'm gonna go ahead and take my NYX matte liquid liner and we're going to create a wing. Let me see if I can do this on camera without messing up. And when you are using liquid liner, gel is a little bit easier because it's like using like a crayon or a marker, but this is like, or you can use felt tip liner, that's pretty easy too, but all my felt tip liners are dried out, so I'm stuck with liquid. It can be really difficult, you just need to relax and possibly perch your arm up on something, like a table or a boob, if you have large boobs, sorry. Don't want to be inappropriate, but boobs happen. So you'd want to just perch your arm up on something and draw a straight line starting at your lower lash line and make it kind of go towards your eyebrow. And you're going to want to draw a triangle, so kind of like that. I prefer my wings kind of small so that way I can't, or so that way I don't really mess up. If I do mess up, it's not noticeable, not as noticeable as with like a larger wing. Okay, and that's about as even as they're gonna get for right now. And so next what I would do is move on to my foundation. And so the primer that I use is the Milk Hydro Grip primer. So I use like 2 pumps of that, 1 and 2. Then I also use the Cover FX mattifying primer. And then I just mix them in and put them all over my face, especially my dry areas. The Hydro Grip primer is to help hydrate, and then the Cover FX one, that one is to just fill in the pores, make sure everything is nice and smooth. Obviously, not all skin can be smooth because texture exists, pores exist, acne exists. Something you gotta deal with, and that is in my skin. And so now that that has been in my skin, I'm gonna go ahead and take this mixture of the Too Faced Born This Way Loose Ethereal Setting Powder. Ethereal Loose Setting Powder. I don't know the way it goes, I'm not sure. And then it's a mixture with that and the Kat Von D Lock It Setting Powder. And I'm just gonna press some of this powder into my skin. And this will just help your foundation stay on longer. And you'll just want to press this in all over your face, except for your super dry areas. If you have dry skin, don't press it in the super dry areas. Like my forehead and my nose would be a super dry area, so I'm not going to press it in there. But I am going to get the sides of my nose because I do know that that part gets oily. And this is my Real Technique sponge. It came in a pack of 2 and I got them from Ulta. And so what I usually like to do is mix my Born to Glow and my Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation, and these are both in the shade Warm Honey. And so the Born to Glow, it actually it has a more like dewy finish to it, whereas the Can't Stop Won't Stop is a more matte foundation. And so I like to mix them together to get like the effect of the matte and the dewy, and so just mixed together, it's wonderful. So I'm gonna just dot that on both cheeks and it'll kind of mix itself up, and then I'll just start applying that all over my face. And then once you are done with your cheeks, you'll want to take like the rest of it. And then for my forehead, since my forehead is a little bit more on the dry side, like drier than my cheeks and my nose, what I do in this step is I just take a little bit of the Born to Glow and then I'll put that on my forehead. I'll just take that and just dot it on there and go. And then you'll want to take your concealer again and go right under your eyes, because we all know that in this day and age, we don't sleep because we're staying up until 3 in the morning watching TikToks instead of doing what we need to be doing. And I scroll on TikTok until I find that really, really weird one that it's like, okay, I need to stop watching. I need to go to bed. And what you want to do is don't do what I just did. You kind of want to wait until the concealer is like kind of dried down a bit. So since I just made this mistake already, I'll just teach you something. So this is like immediately after you put the concealer down. I mean, it still looks okay, but it could be better. You could still see the dark circle under the eye. Right, now that concealer has dried down a little bit, I'm gonna take it and I'm just gonna pat it in. And it's gonna be more full coverage than this side. Okay, you see the difference? How this side's more like bright and awake, and this side still looks kind of like half asleep. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more concealer to this side just to make it look even. And I'm gonna wait just a little bit. So the next thing I'm gonna do is take that powder brush and put it right underneath the eye where the concealer is. So we're setting it in place, and a little bit on our nose to set that in place. Okay, and now we are going to contour and highlight and blush and all that other fun stuff. And I'll come back to the eyeshadow later. So what I like to do to contour my nose is I use my Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit, and this thing is like super old, but I'm gonna go ahead and use it because I like it. And so what I do is I like to start on my left side and just go up and down my nose and go kind of into the eyebrow, but make sure it's light. And then I kind of like to go behind my nostrils a little bit. And then under my nose. That's how I contour my nose, and then I'm gonna contour the rest of my face so that way this doesn't look really like orange and weird. First I go to a straight line and then I do like circular motions. Make it look more natural. And then you kind of want to go up here in your hairline. That'll just help you look a little bit more put together and add some dimension to your face so you're not all just like one color. And then we want to take a brush that had some powder on it and just kind of buff out the edges so that way there are no harsh lines. And then what I also like to do is to take the smaller brush and just a little bit, like a little line right underneath the like the center of that contour. And sometimes I go under my chin. Now what I'm gonna do is take my Milani Luminoso Glow palette, which I dropped in the store so it's like cracked, and I felt bad and didn't want to leave it there so I bought it. I'm gonna take a lip blush from this and just pack that onto my cheeks, and blush tends to fade pretty quickly. So I mean, if you want to put a lot on there, put a lot on there. It's not gonna stay, unfortunately, unless you find the right blush. And then if you do find the right blush, don't use a lot of it because you look crazy. You want to smile, the apples up your cheeks. This is a very glowy blush and I really like it. So now what I do is I will take a highlighter brush, if I can find it, it's right here. And then I'll dip into the same palette and take the more highlighter shades instead of the blush shades. And then on my nose, I'll just add just a little bit that goes like straight down the center so that way it makes your nose look more snatched. Sometimes I put it on my Cupid's bow, sometimes I don't. Let's see. Yeah, I like it. I want to line my lower lash line. So I have this ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Honey Dude, and I'm going to put that in my lower lash line. What the lighter eyeliner does, instead of using black will close your eyes and make them look smaller. But if you are wanting to make them look bigger, then it's best to do like a light liner, so either like a beige or any kind of white or light color. And then your eye will look a little bit bigger. And so the eyes do look a little bit bigger, more open and more awake. And so now what I'm going to do is go back into my Jaclyn Hill palette. So this Anastasia brush that I have, sometimes I like these brushes, sometimes I don't. I'm just gonna take like the smaller end of it and dip into that dark brown shade that we had going on. Try and make the amount of shadow used as small as possible since this is more like a daytime look. If I was doing like a crazy like blue or green, pink or whatever, just a crazy color, I would have blown it out, like made it real big. And so now what I'm going to do is take that shade, the very, very light shade on the other end of this brush, the very first shade that we used up top, which was that one, and just kind of buff out this darker color. Make it look a little less harsh. Okay, so this color right here, next to, or between the purple and that orange one, I'm gonna use that for my inner corner highlight. And it actually might be a little too light, so I'm gonna take the one next to it and put it on top of it. There we go. Ready? And now I'm gonna do mascara. And so when I'm doing mascara, I like to look down into the mirror. That way you won't touch your mascara onto your work that you've done. If you are going to curl your lashes with a lash curler, do not do that after you put on mascara, because it kind of hurts your lashes and it chops them off. So what I'm going to do now is line my lips. I'm not going to do fake lashes today because I think this looks pretty cute without them. And I really like these lip liners. These are the NYX Professional Makeup Matte Suede Matte Lip Liner, and this is in the shade Cold Brew. And then I would like to take my ColourPop lipstick in the shade Ariel, which is my favorite Disney princess, and just put that on top of the lip liner and kind of blend it in with my lips. And then I'll take this Anastasia like mini lip gloss that I got from Ulta, and it is in the shade Parfait, and just put that right on top. And then we're going to go ahead and spray with our Mario Badescu spray. I usually use a mixture of this and then the Urban Decay setting spray. And then you, before you want to spray this, you actually do want to make sure that your bottom lashes are dry, or just to do the step before you put on your mascara, so that way the mascara won't run or just get smudged under your eye. You want to dry it, and I'm using some Mail, but I mean, if you have a fan, get a fan. If you have Mail, get a Mail. Or get Mail. Some Mail, not a Mail. Okay, and then I'm going to go over this with a little bit of powder. And so actually there's like not any additional powder on the brush, but I'm just going over the extremely shiny parts with this brush that had a little bit of leftover powder on it, just so it won't look like my skin's like oily and pine for moisture or something. Alrighty, so that would be it for my finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you to Jade for the ideas about this video. And if you guys have any other questions, or if you were wanting to learn anything else, you can either comment on this video or follow me on Instagram at Gabby Likes Glitter and DM me, or follow me on TikTok. That would be it for our video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it and hope you learned a lot. Do feel free to again like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.